Hey everybody, welcome back to Holding Priority Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to go over our MagicCon Survival Guide. This is one of the coolest events of the year that I look forward to. I really like the Vegas location. We try to go every single year. This will be our second time going, and hopefully we will see you there.
For sure. If you do see us there, say something.
And before we get into today's episode, let's do the shuffle up. We are currently preparing for MagicCon Vegas, so we will not see the Duskborn reviews yet, the comments there. So we'll catch up after MagicCon, probably have a bunch of comments. Just a reminder, we do have a link tree, lots of cool stuff on there. If you're just listening to the podcast, subscribing, liking, commenting, great. You're doing a great job. If you want to know other ways to help out, we do have a TCG player link. If you copy that link, bookmark it, and every time you go to TCG player, you just use that bookmark that's on your toolbar. We'll get credit for just you visiting TCG player through that link. And if you buy anything, it'll let TCG player know that not only are we sending people to TCG player, but they're buying stuff. That'll help the podcast out. It doesn't cost you any extra. It just helps us out. Our goal with that is to kind of show TCG player we're sending people over there so that they send us free stuff that we can give away on the podcast.
I do buy most of my cards from TCG player.
Yeah.
There's very few
that
I don't.
And if
place.
you're just listening to this podcast and you're like, these are cool dudes, they gave me a good tip on a card in Duskborn, or, these are cool dudes, I just want to support the podcast. Patreon is in progress. We're still kind of getting used to the release schedule, so I'm not confident enough to set up the Patreon yet. It'll be coming as we get better. We do, in the meantime, or if you just want to do a one-time donation, have a Ko-Fi link. If you're just like, hey, I want to give these guys $6 to go buy a pack from their local store, cool. We'll take that $6 digitally, go buy it at our local store. The shop owner there is very nice, and we'll get cards. So.
She kind of likes us every once in a while.
Yeah. All right, let's go into our survival guide. Yeah, this is definitely an event that is highly curated. So you could just show up, not expect anything, and just have a blast. I'm the type of person that, I play CDH. I want to min-max everything. So I want to make sure that I get the most out of my experience, and I'm going to share some tips that I learned from last year. So hopefully you can hear a couple things that you're like, that's a great idea. I will say that if you've listened to us since the very beginning, some of this will overlap with our convention survival guide and our tournament survival guide, but it is worth saying again.
Oh, for sure. Not only that, but we actually travel there, so it's a lot of
we fly there.
Yeah. So it's things we've learned from the first time and what we're gonna bring into the second time we go, for sure.
Yeah. So just to kind of run down what we do, this is gonna be a pretty quick list. I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of time, but number one, what do? We go and play Magic. We play a lot of Magic. Yeah.
No, we go and play lots of Magic.
Yeah.
There's lots of people playing. The floor is huge. That the last time we went, creators and normal guys alike and ladies alike.
I am extremely surprised. And it's weird to me because there's certain creators, and I'm not one to drop names, but Kibler, if you're listening, you're my favorite. And to me, I'm like, this person is a celebrity. But then they'll just come up and be like, hey, would you like to play some Magic with me? And I'm like, what? Yeah, of course. You're asking me?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because Krypton knows all of these people by just seeing them and everything else. I know a lot. However, there's times where I don't notice somebody and he's like, that's that person right there.
I work from home, so I get real lonely. Let's just say that. So I work from home, so a lot of my a lot of the way I burn time at work is I have one monitor, one laptop that's work, and then I have my personal computer and monitors on the side. So while I'm working, I just have a constant rotation of Magic content and some other stuff, but mostly Magic content that plays. So when we went, it was I found 30 people in a single day that I was like, I know who these are. So to me, that was really cool. And like, spending a good portion of my year with these people digitally, it was really strange to be like, we're in the same place and you're just a normal person, like you're not even a celebrity. Like you're in line buying tacos behind me, and like, like you're looking at the menu and going, oh, I need to get the cheap tacos. Like,
So just to put it in perspective, I think we were at a table at MagicCon Vegas last year, and I looked to my right, and most of the people, like, was it the Commander Council or something?
the
was all on the
Commander
side?
RC, the Commander Committee.
Yeah, they were everywhere.
Yeah, and it was pretty crazy. I have a picture of me just given a peace sign, and then at the end of the next table, just everybody from the Commander Council, and at the end, Kibler, my favorite. Not stalking him or anything, but he just happened to be within eye line of my camera, so I took a picture. Yeah,
I was wondering why we were taking pictures of random people, and it ended up being the same. No, I'm just
but it's really cool how humble the creators are. I mean, again, they are just normal people that play Magic. I'm sure that they're also kind of culture shocked when they go to a convention. They're like, all of these people know me that I just have never met them, so I think that's pretty cool. I'm sure it's a little weird for them. Just be mindful that they're normal people, that they're there to have fun too. So if they're walking real fast to try to get to a panel, don't stop them. Like just let's let them go. But
yeah,
they're very approachable.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We got signed mats and everything from all the wonderful people that were there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're all nerds at this place. I mean, just be mindful of it.
One thing that we do that I had a lot of fun with last time is we brought a blank playmat, and we just had as many people as we could sign it. Creators, people we played with that we had fun with. Like I have it framed in my gaming room, kind of with the secret layer that had all of the playing cards on it because it's Vegas. And it's really cool for me to walk in, see the docket for like all of everybody that was going to be there that they give out whenever you start. And then a signed playmat in the background that has like, people that are in command nights, certain creators, every creator I didn't get play to win, but I got a Scry Baby stamp. I got all kinds of stuff.
We got play to win to sign.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. They were at the table. We were wanting to play them.
Yeah.
They had like two people that were waiting to play.
Cam signed, I think.
Oh, both.
Both? Yeah. Okay.
They were in a CEDH pod.
That's right. That's right.
We watched their whole game. It was pretty
Kibler signed mine.
Who
Somebody signed over it. Someone signed over it.
I remember talking, and you couldn't say anything to Kibler. Like you were starstruck. I remember that.
Well, he has a restraining order against me. So no, I'm kidding.
Not really.
Not yet.
He might need to.
After this podcast, he might be like, I do not know who this is, but I do not want him within 100 feet. So that's what we do. Clearly we're not going to stop people and be like, you're on the way to go get food, sign this, but we had a lot of fun with it. It was a good way to go up to people that we'd be a little bit nervous to probably interact with, and then have a reason. I wasn't going to go up to a lot of the creators and be like, hi, but it's like, hey, can you sign my playmat, is a good way to open up the conversation. And then while they're signing, have something to talk about. And then it gives a good start end point, where start point is you're signing my playmat. End point is you've signed my playmat and you've handed it back to me. Clearly, this interaction is started and ended, which there's some creators that I'd sit there and talk to them until they were like, all right, please go away.
Yeah.
For people that are a little socially awkward, which again, I work from home, I try not to be. It happens. It's a good way for me to go, hey, you are consenting to this interaction. You've started to sign my playmat. You've handed over my playmat. At this point, you are kind of telling me that you're ready to go. Cool, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, you're ending it here.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I don't think any of them were really rude. I don't think I had any person.
The one that signed over Kibler, he upset me. But
I think you said his name wrong or something.
No.
Somebody walked over.
Someone else went, hey, you have long hair. Are you Kibler? And he just went and then signed over Kibler's signature. I'm not saying who it is, but it was playful. It was playful. I don't actually hate him, is what I'm going to say on the podcast. No, I'm kidding.
There may or may not be ill will there.
He's blocked on our Twitter. He can't interact. I'm kidding.
That's funny.
The other thing I really like to do is get cards signed by artists. It's so cool to be playing your commander and just plop out the commander and be like, yeah, the artist signed it. Everybody in the community is pretty accepting of signed cards. Technically, signed cards are damaged cards, so they have less value than the normal cards. Technically, on a marketplace, they have about the same value when they're signed. But it's just really cool to slap out. Like back then I was playing Crick and I got Professor Onyx signed, which was part of my win at the time. So anytime I would play Professor Onyx, it's a signed Professor Onyx. So I'd be like, I'm winning right now with my signed card. Like,
I had my commander at the time signed. So I was playing Tivit and I would still plop out a signed Tivit.
I mean, I still have a Mystic Remora signed from last one.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And the guy that did the art for the Felwar Stone, he's going to be there.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my favorite part by far. What else do? We buy stuff. Just go support the vendors. A lot of other things. Buy casino dice. It's really cool to come back from Vegas and be like, I have very big, nice to roll, visible casino dice. And I'll say 100%. If I throw dice down at the table into the community pit, the casino dice are grabbed 10 out of 10 times every time.
Yeah, they're the coolest.
Yeah. What else do I do? Take a ton of pictures. Pictures of the cosplay, pictures of the creators. Again, don't be creepy.
Be sure they know you're taking the picture. That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah, or you're taking a picture of them sitting down and playing. I don't think anybody cares if you take a picture of them sitting down and playing. There are tons. It's a two-story convention center. When we went, there was a TARDIS. There was a giant Velociraptor for Ixalan. There was an entire feast table for Eldraine with all of the jellies and jellos and all the cool stuff.
I don't think they were edible.
They were not edible. Yeah. There was like a, not really a haunted house, but a maze that was like supposed to be like the Wilds of Eldraine maze, which, I mean, I'm assuming we're going the weekend before Halloween. A lot of people are going to be dressed up. Probably going to be a haunted Duskmore house. Like, oh, it's going to be cool. I'm so excited.
It's going to be awesome. I really like the cosplay contest too.
Yeah.
Going into that and seeing all of the crazy cosplays that happen. I think there was an Atraxa that had wings that were actually mechanical.
Yeah, and they had arms that actually moved independently of their normal arms. That's
crazy.
Yeah. And the cool thing that I like about the cosplay contest is I believe they break it up in 3 different skill levels. So like the first level are people that have never really done professional cosplay. Intermediate is you might have an expensive cosplay, but you're not professional yet. And professional is these people are probably paid to be here and representing the character. They've put a lot of money into their cosplay. We're finding out who's the best by a panel of judges. And it was so cool. It was like a 45-minute thing.
I think it was like an hour and some change. Like we were there for a minute.
It felt fast though. Like at no point was I just like, all right, I'm going to get up and get some more cards signed, or I want to go play a game.
Oh no, it was cool.
The other thing that is important is you're going to be in Vegas, so live your life. I would definitely say at least one afternoon, enjoy the town, take a little break from Magic. I love playing Magic. I play it all the time, but I will definitely say if I play 6 games and I take a day break and I play 6 more, I enjoy those 6 games more than if I played all 12 in the same day. So,
I mean, it's definitely an option. There's a lot of cool stuff in Vegas.
yeah.
Even if you go and kind of walk around on the strip type things,
Yeah. We
or
just,
go find a cool place to eat.
yeah. Was it Fork and Spoon, the breakfast place that we got steak and eggs? Oh my God.
It was so good.
Going back. Yeah.
I honestly think that we hadn't eaten anything other than like convention food for the day. So some actual food was just
Also,
great.
shout outs. Eternal Dirtles sent us over there.
Oh yeah.
So shout out to them. I will try to get in contact with them through Twitter and see if we can play again. We had a lot of fun playing them.
For sure. I want to play that Krakashima day.
Yeah, that was the first time we ever experienced it, and it was just like, oh, this is dumb. Like dumb in a good way.
Yeah, it was one of the main reasons I built it. Shout out to the Mox Masters winner too. I actually have most of the deck from that.
And we've played him three or four times now.
He's a good guy,
which is so cool. Yeah, yeah. So just to kind of go away from our general, what do we do? I think that's a good rundown. Get into more of the specifics. Buying tickets, by the time this podcast comes out, I really hope you already have your tickets. But it's really good to combine the flight and the hotel. You get a lot of better deals that way. I always make sure I buy a hotel within walking distance to save on Ubers, because I would rather spend money on cards and less money on Ubers.
Yeah.
And also, we're nerds. Walking 15,
Probably good for us.
20 minutes, 30 minutes, probably good for us. So that helped a lot. It was also really nice whenever like we would stay, we'd open the convention and we'd close the convention.
Yeah,
they'd kick us out. And they kick the majority of people out. So there were times where there'd be, not even exaggerating, 200 people waiting for an Uber, and we would just look at that and we'd go, I'm going to take the 20 minutes to walk to the hotel.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to, while I'm walking, get on the phone, order a really awesome pizza. By the time I get to the front of the hotel, pizza was there to get up to the hotel room.
Yeah.
Like, awesome. Yeah, it was, loved it. That's pretty much it I have about just buying the tickets and everything. We did do Spirit last time, and I'm not going to say it was miserable, but it was, imagine being in a movie theater where the entire movie theater was packed and we're big dudes, so it was crunchy. So
yeah, I felt like a sardine a little bit.
yeah. And yeah, it wasn't too bad, but this time I made sure that we booked not Spirit, and hopefully if it's a different interaction. It was not a big jump to upgrade airlines. If you're on a budget and you're just like, I don't care if I feel squished for 3 hours straight, getting there and 3 hours straight coming back, save the money. Let's go into packing. Packing, I think, personally to me, was where I missed the biggest.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think that we'll go into the specifics, but obviously it's different based on the need of your packing. If you're going with like some children or something like that, then pack for what you need. But
Yeah.
if it's just you and you're going, there's some tips for this.
And I will say that this is the first year that I will be trying to cosplay, because this will be my Halloween weekend. So I don't get to dress up for Halloween if I don't dress up this weekend. I have a very casual Sakashima cosplay where it's the secret layer. So basically it's just track pants, hoodie, bag over my shoulder, Sakashima mask. So it's not a lot, but I'm still just like, where am I going to find the space for the mask? You know, like, so if you cosplay and you have you know, tips on how to kind of make your cosplay fit in the bag but also not break anything, like, please let me know. Hit me up on Twitter, YouTube, um, any way you get in contact with me, I appreciate it. And I'll definitely give you a shout out on the next episode. Speaking of packing, one of the things that I personally did incorrect was I went, okay, I'll be there for 4 days. I need 4 shirts. And I already had purchased another shirt online, and I didn't factor in my new shirts into my packing situation. So when I came back for a 4 day trip, I had 8 shirts.
Yeah.
So I will say that was my biggest takeaway. One of my biggest takeaways was, if I know that I should in my head commit and go, okay, this is 4 days. I'm going to buy at least 2 shirts. I saw Wizard of Barge is going to be there. I know I'm going to buy a shirt from him. I know I'm going to buy a MagicCon 2024 shirt that says Las Vegas. I just like having them. That's 2 shirts I can commit to saying I'm going to buy, and I'm going to wear at the event. So I will pack 2 shirts and then buy 2.
Yeah.
And then worst case scenario, like last time, I buy 3. Oh no, I have a clean sleep shirt. The shirts that they have at the event, super clean. I can say that I've bought shirts before and they had a very chemical odor where I was like, I don't really want this on my skin. And I have somewhat sensitive skin, like my chest will kind of break out if I wear a shirt that hasn't been like washed well. And personal experience, you know yourself better, but I put on 3 of the shirts that I bought at MagicCon. They smelled great. They did not smell like they had come out of a factory across the world, were in a shipping container for a long time, and then chemically sprayed down with something. Like, they were very nice, very soft, very nice to wear.
For me, I ended up packing too many shirts as well. I think this go round, I'll probably have the shirt I'm wearing,
Mm-hmm.
have a shirt to come home in,
Yeah.
and then in between there, I'll probably buy whatever shirts I want
Mm-hmm.
to go. That way, I'm not carrying a whole lot of stuff and just being mindful of what um, I still I only bring a backpack really, so it's I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to have too much.
Yeah. Speaking of too much, I will say I was playing quite a bit of casual decks. I had Najila and Crick, and then I had a couple casual decks, and I was just prepared, waiver prepared to play people. I think I brought 6 decks. I maybe touched 3 of those decks because there were the 2 decks that I really was having fun playing and went to practice. The third deck that I was just like, I'm a little burnt out. And then the fourth deck that was, haha, look at this jank. I would say bring a maximum of 4 commander decks if you're playing casual. Don't bring your entire toolbox like some people do to
Yeah, that's a lot to
that's
lug
overkill.
around. Now, if you like doing that,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
power to you.
I'm gonna probably bring. I might be able just to commit to 2 CDH
I am
decks.
bringing
Yeah,
two.
yeah. I because CDH, like, we invest so much in the decks. A lot of the decks are very, very fun. First of all, I don't
Yeah.
get tired of playing them. I could play Nadu all day. Would you want to play Nadu all day? No. You probably wouldn't
I know for
play
sure.
against Nadu all day. Yeah.
I know for sure that you enjoy playing against Blue Farm. It's one of your favorite decks
Yeah.
to play.
I love when there's 2 blue farms at the same table, and I'm looking at a blue farm on my left and a blue farm in front of me, and then the 4th spot at the table is Sisay. I love that. Let me tell you, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I'm gonna probably bring a Blue Farm and a SSA and go with it that way. I think that's gonna be my method.
I think I will bring Nadu and Atali. Um, there is a mono green commander. I don't know if I'll build it in time for MagicCon, but I would like to have a newer commander to kind of not really test, but like people be like, oh, you have a commander from this from this Duskmourn set that we're currently at MagicCon for. I want to see it. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I can see that.
So maybe 3. Atali is a lot too. Like I like Atali, but it's I gotta collect everybody's cards, make sure I don't steal them on accident. I have to know how your deck works, with my cards. Like it's overwhelming sometimes. It's a lot of fun, but it's really fun to go turn 1. I have a big giant 7-cost dinosaur, but it's very stressful for me personally to play, and it you don't get, it's not rewarding to where if you play a harder deck you win more. It's, oh, okay, it's a Tali, a silence, I'm paper thin, a silence just eats me up.
I think I'm gonna look into also bringing a couple of cards here and there, just to either to get signed or to maybe trade out. But as far as decks, I don't think I'm gonna run maybe 2,
Yeah,
maybe 3 at max.
I know it's called a trading card game, but I'm not going to bring cards to trade
Not
in
people,
Vegas.
not
Yeah.
people wise. I'm talking more of like
Oh yeah, so like your serialized cards that you pulled. Yeah, your
it's,
high value. Yeah,
it's
that makes
something
sense.
that I
That
can
makes
probably
sense. Yeah.
offload.
Yeah. I have a whole section on the art that we'll go over later, but like there's quite a bit of strategy to that. As far as packing, you will be inside mostly. I personally did not see a need for a hoodie when we went in September last year. It's Las Vegas. It's not going to get cold. I did not even see a need for jeans. And I will say, live in Texas, hardly ever am I like, I shouldn't be in shorts. I'm basically like the youngsters from Pokemon that are like, wear shorts all the time. Like if I'm in actual jeans, it's cold. But I packed shorts and jeans, and the amount of walking and how hot it got in the convention center, I never needed the jeans.
We're also from Texas, so for it to be cold to us, like, I mean, being hot is more of a problem for us than being cold.
Yeah.
I enjoy it being 60 degrees. That's and then a desert. I mean,
I'd say it was about 75 in the convention center at all times.
and there's a lot of people too.
Yeah. Even if it was like 60 outside, that 15-minute walk, it being 60 was a really nice way to cool down. And you're walking, so you're already going to kind of be hot. I personally felt no need for hoodie and jeans. I will say, before you go, look at the forecast. You'll know. You're probably not going to pack weeks in advance. You can literally go and be like, okay, in Las Vegas, what is the temperature going to be like for the next 5 days? 4 of those I'll be there. Okay, I'm probably not going to bring jeans. I would not waste the bag space to go, well, what if I need a hoodie?
Yeah.
If you're somebody that gets cold, but I did not need one.
I tell you what, to be realistic and be honest, if you're going to have that mindset of, well, what if, just go ahead and put $100 or so to the side, and then just whatever you're gonna need, get it from there.
Mm-hmm.
I would also argue
they did sell hoodies, and I understand that money is an option, is not optional for some people. They're like, if I'm there, I will have no spending money. I'm breaking the bank to get here. I cannot afford another hoodie, so I'm going to pack one. Cool. But then you're not worrying about. We were worrying about when we get there bringing stuff back. So I needed the space. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted stuff.
Yeah, they did have hoodies there though, and they were cool hoodies.
To be fair, like, there's also that kind of adventure. Let's say you need a toothbrush.
Yeah.
going to a Walmart in Vegas, if you've never been, might be an interesting thing to do,
Yep.
you know? So I wouldn't look into trying to prepare for every possible contingency. Have you a little bit of a cushion of some sort and then just run with it that way.
Yeah.
It's my personal opinion.
Yeah. And I missed something on the commander deck. So another thing to think about, every card that's sleeved, they will check. They opened up all of our boxes and checked every single, for the most part, a pretty thorough search of a lot of the cards. And I did see a lot of creators just being like, they opened and were very careful with my stuff, but seeing them thumb through 1,000 cards, even knowing that they were being careful, really made me scared. I did have a conversation with somebody that works TSA, and they said that it's a very common way where people will smuggle drugs, not sleeves of cards, but like stuff like that, where it's like, you, on the surface these look like cards, but people cut the cards in half of the sleeve was nose candy, family podcast, and then they were able to smuggle like a pound.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I see it. Like, yeah, I'm not going to fit a bunch of contraband in a single magic sleeve, but if there's 1,000 of them, I get it.
I would argue that packing light is another reason. TSA is another reason to kind of pack light.
Yeah.
So you don't have a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And whatever you're carrying with you is really what I'd try to keep.
They do make a point of going through cards, is what I was told. And I did see it firsthand too. The other thing, just if you can do it, if you have them available, wear hiking shoes. You will need them. You are walking, I would say you're walking 2 to 3 miles a day at the end of the day. If you're walking from your hotel to the convention center, and then even more so walking all around the convention center, it's 2 floors. So you're going play, let's go get some cards signed on the top. Let's go get some food. Let's go look at the shop. This line I've been looking at the entire event, it's finally low. Let's zip up there real quick. Like, it's a lot of fast walking sometimes too.
Yeah.
Oh, I only have 20 minutes to get to the cosplay contest. I thought it was on the first floor. It's actually on the second. We need to get up there now. Yeah. Like, it's a lot of walking. Wear comfortable shoes, wear shoes that support. We are old men. We're almost 40. So we can only walk. What? You're old. You're old.
That's fair, I guess.
But yeah, like you'd be surprised. At the end of the day, there were definitely some days we were walking away from the convention center, and halfway through the 10 to 15 minute walk, I'd be like, oh my God, my lower back is like, it hurts. My thighs hurt, my calves hurt. And then I'd like look back and I'd see you were kind of hobbling. And I'm like, oh, let's please sit down. I didn't want to be the one to say it first, but like, it's clear we need to sit down. Can we sit down? Thank you. Like,
it's like, oh, you look like you need to sit.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine, but I'll do this for you.
Yeah, I'd be fine. I could do it, but I'll walk. I'll sit down. We'll be bros. Another thing, like we were saying, general hygiene. It's hot in there. There's a lot of people. Please bring deodorant. It's
please don't be the magic statistic of being the smelly person.
Zero problem with it last year. I don't think I went to any table, but it's one of those things. It's if it's your first time, you might be like, well, I don't really smell bad unless you sweat. You will sweat. You would think being at a convention center, maybe you would not sweat. You will sweat. You will be nasty. You will need to shower every single night when you go back. You will need, in the middle of the day, a way to freshen yourself up. Bring deodorant.
I would suggest, I wouldn't really bring it.
Yeah.
Because
bring deodorant from the hotel. Yeah. Don't bring it, buy it.
Yeah.
There.
I would buy all of your stuff. So get there a little early if you can. get you all of your toiletries that you're going to need for your room. Put it all in there. When you get ready to leave, you know, if nothing's been used, maybe the housekeeper will be happy. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
Another tip, just save room. You will be bringing stuff back if you plan on spending money. It'll be shirts, it'll be big things. I bought an entire coaster set. Before this kind of goes earlier, I didn't go over it. Find out what's only sold at the convention, what's sold online. There are certain things that if you buy it, no one else had access to it unless they were at the convention. It's really cool. Like I have Eldring coasters, and I will say every time somebody new comes over, I'll send them a coaster, and they're like, "Are these the Eldring coasters?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "These are so cool." And I was like, "Yeah, you could only buy them at MagicCon." So it's a lot. It's a fun flex. But you know, save room for stuff you'll bring back. I bought a signed artist print of one of the Praters last time, and it was, I had room, probably wouldn't get it again, but it's really cool. It's a signed poster. um just don't go, all right, I'm going there, I packed everything to the brim. You'll regret it because you're coming back with shirts, you're coming back with hats, you're coming back with other stuff probably.
And if you can be the minimalist, that's where plan what you're gonna buy. So if you're gonna buy t-shirts, don't bring extras.
Yeah,
Just get there with what you're gonna need minimally, and
yeah,
then buy the shirts you're gonna want to wear, and then you'll wear them there.
yeah,
And, I mean, you'll have pictures with those shirts on,
yeah.
which is also a thing.
Also cool. uh like we said, bring a blank play mat, bring your own markers. Not to kind of give what we're doing away, but this year I think I'm gonna have people do little doodles on the playmat. They don't have to sign it, just do a 10-second doodle. If it's somebody that's in the art line and I ask them to do it, of course I'm gonna say, you're an artist, clearly you're a professional, like in my head, and go, hey, how much would it cost for, I'm talking 10-second doodle on my playmat? And if they're like $5, it's like, cool, add that to the signature, please. Check out, you know?
Yeah. I seen a guy at one of the conventions. He had a blank play mat, and he was going to the artists and paying like $30 for a picture.
Yeah.
And this thing was cool.
Yeah.
Like
And
he
it was
had
like a
like five
fourth of the
different.
playmat. Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane. Like these guys draw for a living. So at the end of the day, they can do really cool stuff pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah. Uh, another tidbit. I think I went over this on our convention survival guide, but one of the guys got a really cool was it midnight meat hook massacre. The guy drew a custom artist copy of Meat Hook Massacre where the hand was holding something inappropriate. And
On the card itself.
so it was an artist print.
Okay.
So it was artist print, card on front, flip around, it's blank, and it was really cool. And pretty much it was yeah, if anybody asks, I didn't do this. But I was just like, I would not be brave enough to ask somebody to do that, and nor should you. But it was pretty cool to see. Like,
I've seen some altered arts too, so that's always a possibility. You never know until you ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Be mindful though, because if there's like 700 people behind you, obviously, like
I have a digital frame that kind of goes over all the pictures I've taken, and I don't remember if you remember the Grim Monolith, that the guy that did World Gorger Dragon, he drew
the dragon
World
around
Gorger wrapped around it.
I remember that.
It comes up, and I'm just like,
that is
so cool. Like, yeah.
I think the story, and they come with good stories too.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
I believe the story was the guy that made it thought it should have a dragon, but Magic didn't want him to do it.
Yeah.
So he was like,
they were like, it's a grim monolith. You can't be grim if there's a dragon around it. And he was just like, you pay me. At the end of the day, I'm going to do what you ask. I don't agree with it.
And then he did this to this guy's.
I'm going to modify every single one that comes across my desk.
And it was so awesome. I'm not even going to lie.
The other thing that I found is you're hanging out with people, you're getting their contact information, you're at them on Twitter, you're adding them to Discord, you're taking pictures, you're looking up prices on cards, you're, somebody is gonna play a card and you're like, I need to look up the judge ruling on this. I don't know how this interaction works. Your phone is going to get a lot of use. So bring a backup battery. I have a really teeny tiny one that it just holds a full charge for my battery. No wires. It just has a USB-C that flips up. I put it on the bottom of my phone. It charges it from 0 to 100 once. And then I can just charge them both whenever I get back. Bring multiple USB-C or chargers so that you can charge your phone and also your battery.
Yeah.
If you have a smartwatch over 4 days, you will need to recharge your smartwatch. Make sure you have every charger that you need.
Or get a multi-charger. Those are good too. You can get fast charging multi-charger.
Yeah. Backup battery really saved me. You're going to be at a really cool place for 4 days. You're going to want to capture those memories. And if your phone dies, they're only going to be memories. You're not going to capture them, which only memories are still fine. But I would love to have a picture of me and Kibler shaking hands and it be more than a memory. I want to show everybody. It's like, see, he shook my hand. He violated the restraining order. So this is why I still talk to him.
That's funny.
Same thing. We're going to go over this again. Every single survival guide, bring electrolytes, something sealed to drink from. Please do not bring anything that can leak. You do not want to destroy any cards of anybody's at the table. Your own, the people at your table, the people at the next table. Anything sealed, just make sure that, if it has a top that you unscrew when you drink, screw it back in. I personally have forgot to bring a little container before, and I went and I bought a Gatorade, and it fills everything I need. It's electrolytes once. I can refill it at all the places there. It has a twist cap. If I spill it, I'm not going to, hopefully. But if it gets spilled, I always put the cap back on. I definitely would prefer to bring my own thing like that because staying hydrated, especially with how much you think at a table, is really important. So plan accordingly.
So I kind of go the opposite route a little bit. I have a backpack with the little drink carrier thing on the side.
Yeah.
And I'll just buy like a smart water and keep it rolling that way.
Yeah.
I have been known to refill it at every water filler upper thing that's around. Just because I do drink quite a bit of water.
I have a silicone like water bladder that has a twist on top with a straw that you pop it up, the straw comes out, you pop it down, the straw goes back in. So I'm never, even if I forget to put the top back on, if it falls, it'll just leak a couple drops out of the straw. And then whenever I'm done with it, I actually can empty the air from the silicone water bladder, roll it up. It comes with like a little clasp that I can put around it. So at the end of the day, it's like it rolls up and I can put it in that drink slot. And it has a lot of water. It has as much water as I need for an entire day. So I know if I drink the whole thing, I'm good pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, I do enjoy smart water, and then having the little powdered electrolyte inserts is a good method if you don't have the water bottle thing. I don't like carrying all that. I'd rather just have the thing and then I can throw it away later.
Yeah, and I have done your method where I forgot to bring it and I just got a Gatorade for the day, and it wasn't bad, at all.
I prefer water over Gatorade just because the Gatorade could leave a weird taste. But if you're using the electrolytes, it's going to be a weird taste anyway.
I'm thirsty. I bought the Gatorade, chugged it in 30 seconds, filled it back up with water, chugged half of that water. Yeah. The other thing that in the convention center, we've been there before, the food is cafeteria style. If you work an office job where the food is provided to you by the office, it's very similar to that, where you have a couple choices, but it's okay, well, this is Chinese, this is pizza, this is this. It's expensive for what it is. It's not great. It's been sitting out by the time you buy it. You go up to a kiosk, you buy it. Not very fulfilling. You eat it, you go.
I would suggest, and this is kind of an in between, take it for what it is type of thing. I would say get you a good breakfast.
Yeah.
Go have fun all day.
Yeah.
Eat whatever at the cafeteria for lunch. Nothing crazy. Eat good at night.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat until then.
Yeah.
And then because the convention closes at like 8, something like that. So you're not there super late, and it opens around 8. So it's like 8 to 8.
We did half and half. So we did good breakfast. I'm actually kind of hungry. Let's go to the cafeteria, go get good dinner. And then we bought a pack of 6 energy bars. So like enough for both of us. And there were days where we were just like, hey, check in lunch. Do you want to break away and go get cafeteria food? Are you hungry enough to where you want to break away completely in Uber? Or are you good with just a protein bar? And it's like, well, I don't want to be weighed down. I don't want to have to use these convention center bathrooms. I literally just want an energy bar, and I want to keep rolling.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, food is secondary to cards all the time.
Yeah. You can go 4 days and not eat and survive. You can't go 4 days and play Magic and not survive.
Yeah, you can't. You have to have the cards.
Yeah. So just a couple things to keep in mind outside of packing before preparing. Bring fun decks. Don't be that guy that brings stacks. You're playing people that don't know you, and if they sit down and they don't have a fun time, and your sense of joy is other people can't play the game, you're mean. Don't do that. Like don't do that.
You can have that deck. I wouldn't lead with that deck. That wouldn't be my first one.
Yeah, and like I will say, I did play Tenmo Kodama for a while, and it was. People had fun with it. It was a puzzle to solve where they'd be like, I need to figure out how to get rid of these stacks in order to win. Not all decks can do that, especially casual decks. At least let people know, like, if you sit down with people you've never played before, go, hey, I have a stacks deck. This is what I'd like to play. It kind of locks the game down. Are you guys cool playing that? It could be an hour-and-a-half game. It does have a end win con. It doesn't just lock the game down and go, lol, you guys can't play.
Yeah.
Like, it has an end goal. I'm not going to tell you the end goal because I don't want you to stop it. If you guys are not okay with that, you just want to do a quick 30 to 40-minute game, I do have another deck available. So that way you're expressing your preference, but letting them know this could be miserable. And if you're not cool with that, okay, I'll find somebody else to play later. I'll play with this fun deck.
So we are mostly CEDH, a CEDH podcast. And some of the issue that I have ran into that really isn't as bad as you would think is that what happens if some people want to play and they're all casual? You know, that happens. What I would suggest is to be upfront about it. And then, you know, if you notice they have one of those toolboxes of 100 decks, just be like, hey, you know, I don't mind playing the deck I got, but it is CEDH. Would you mind if I played one of your, what's your coolest deck you got?
If you would like me to borrow one and you'd rather play that, let me know. Another thing, if it's like last year, that should not be a problem because each table has a sign that says this is casual. I think challenging was the middle. I don't know what that means personally. And then there was CDH, and we would, or competitive is what they called it. And we would sit down at the competitive, and then we'd have 2 spots, and somebody working that section would come over to us and go, you're competitive? Cool. I have 2 guys at another table. Let's match make you guys together. And there were times where they'd be like, you're sitting at a competitive table. This guy's at a challenging table. He said he's okay just playing. He doesn't care if you guys just whip his butt. Like, cool. If not, you know, I'll go, you guys can wait 10 more minutes and we'll get a competitive. And then we'd be like, yeah, you know, whatever. Like, if he's cool with it, we're cool with it.
I am pretty excited now compared to then because CEDH has grown quite a bit and it's a lot different.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it will be, because at first we didn't get much love from Magic. They didn't really like all the stuff going on.
Don't think it'll be different. I think there will be more of us though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, the more of us is better.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because we find each other. We're
Yeah.
like,
We know what it's like.
it's like, what is that deck? Oh,
Yeah.
Tim Necrom, you are my people.
Yeah.
No.
The other thing about finding out before is they will post all of the artists that will be there for signatures. When you find out what those artists are, what I do is I search on Scryfall, their name, in quotation marks, and it'll show you every card that person has done. And that way, before, what I do is, I don't know if Walgreens are everywhere, but I go to Walgreens and they have these little binders that are for Pokemon cards that are literally a binder that's big enough to put one card in each page. So they're teeny tiny. And I pack that with a card in front and card in back. And I bring all of those cards in sleeves that way and know, okay, this is my section for this guy. This is my section for this girl. This is my section for this artist. That way I'm just bringing a whole bunch of cards. There have been certain people that have shown up and I'm like, oh man, I didn't know that person did this card. Like, let me go buy it. And I look and I'm like, oh, I forgot this is a $20 card. I don't need a signed one and a normal one. And then I'm going to pay $15 or so to get it signed. Like, this is becoming a $30 hunt for this certain card. And I could have just brought it. Like, you know?
There's also a fun aspect of that too.
Yeah.
So
not for me. I like to have them all in a binder, but I acquiesce that people will like that.
I think that you're going to shop anyway.
Yeah.
So looking for something that maybe you're not a big buyer. So let's say for me, I tried to get some cards that were kind of upper tier. So I bought a Grim Monolith.
Yeah.
While I was there.
I bought a Timna.
And I bought a transmute artifact.
Yeah.
That being said,
I bought a Grim Monolith there too. I forgot we both bought a Grim Monolith from the same dude. Yeah.
But let's say you see the artist of Scoot Swarm.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, let me go check the floor real quick. Maybe I can find a Scoot Swarm. And then you spend $10 and you go get it signed for another 10 or whatever.
The guy that did the masterpiece Chalice of the Void currently is listed and will be there. And I'm like, I don't even know if I want a signed masterpiece Chalice of the Void.
That's crazy.
I don't even know. Like, that's a $200 card. But
I think I would get all of my duels signed.
Oh, 100. Yeah,
like
100%.
I think I would be there at that point to do. Like, I'm there. I'd do that.
If it's a classic card, 100% I'm going to go out of my way. Last year, the woman that did the Lion's Eye Diamond art was there. And that, to me, that's one of the most iconic arts in Magic.
100%.
And it was so cool. She signed my card. She has a very flowery, like, huge signature. And, like, to this day, anytime I play it, if anybody has not seen that signature, I'm just like, I got to sign Lion's Eye, and I just pass it over. And I'm just like, yeah, never seen that, huh? Yeah. She also signed my mat for free, which was really nice of her. I would not expect that, you know.
She was super nice.
Yeah, I'm willing to say, like, hey, you know, what would you charge to sign my play mat? And she just was like, for free. You know?
I think she's a nice person.
Yeah. Yeah. Plan the amount of time that you'll allocate per event. It will matter. It's very easy to just go and be like, I just want to play all day. And then on the sudden your last day, you're just like, every single person is in line for artist signatures. Oh no. You know, like,
spoiler alert. This actually happened.
Yeah.
Because we love playing the game. Yeah. We got up and we were like, oh, we should go and do this.
Yeah.
I think we're going to either do it at the start or at the end.
I like start. I like to just know that all the hard stuff is knocked out and I'm just coasting the rest of the time.
I would honestly argue that maybe at the end of the day would be better.
Yeah. It depends what the lines look like. And also I think last time you had a shouldered that you wanted signed. I had a shouldered I wanted signed. We waited in line together. and then you had yours signed, you had your time with the artist, and then I had to get mine signed, and I had time with the artist, when literally what I could have done is given you my shouldered card and
Get
went,
them
can
both
you
signed.
get both of these signed? I'm going to go over to this other guy. What from him do you need signed? Cool. I'll trade you signatures and then knock it out in half the time.
Yeah.
It was nice to have the company in the line though. So either way, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. You can kind of put it how you want it. I have seen people go get in line with like a deck of cards, which is
Ugh,
to me, I get it.
I don't. I hate you. I
How,
hate you if you do that.
however, I would suggest, get you a good like 3, 4, 5 cards.
Yeah, yeah,
Keep people moving.
yeah.
I mean,
The
there's no reason to have 30 of the same card unless you're trying to
exactly,
sell them.
exactly. That I was about to say that was the bad taste that was in my mouth, because one dude went up with 30 toxic deluges and went, "Can you sign 30 of these?"
They'll do it,
And they did it, and it took him, and like, I'm not math artist at all. It took him about an hour to do it, and he did all 30 of them right while that guy was there, and then it backed the line up. I think there should be kind of a limit where it's like 5 cards. We'll sign them while you're here.
get back in line if you want to do it.
If you have more than 5, get back through the line. If you're gonna drop off 30 for us, we're gonna sign them as we have time. Check back with us at the end of the entire event and see how many we got signed in our free time. Yeah,
I think that it's I get both. I get both perspectives from the artist too, because they make money.
Yeah,
on
I was about to
those.
say, at the same time, he made about $450 off that one. Dude,
And the person was paying it.
Yeah,
Like it was quick, but it was one of those things. It's like, well, you're waiting on the ink to dry.
Yeah.
There's a lot going into it that you may not think about.
Yeah. And then the other thing that's preparing for fun outside of the event, if you want to go to bigger locations for food, you need to book in advance. There was a steak place that I was interested in, called them up, no reservations for the entire 4-day stay. So we didn't get to go to the steak place. There was a buffet that I knew that had all you could eat lobster. Same thing. We showed up, saw the line was way too long for us to get in. We had to go somewhere else. That's somewhere else. Really good.
Yeah, it was great.
But if you have your heart set on a certain place where you're like, I'm in Vegas, I have to get Benihana sushi, I have to get lobster buffet, you need to book in advance.
I would argue that book the real important ones, and if it's something that you're just kind of interested in, look at it and see if it is one of those.
Yeah.
But if you go and there's too many, it could cause a whole trip of just looking around and seeing things, because we would have never found the parasail bar thing we had seen, or the
inside forest that was in that hotel,
big teddy bear thing. Like there was a lot of stuff that we just kind of stumbled on, and it was really cool. I enjoyed it. Like I don't mind doing that. That was fun.
The other thing, and this is kind of just a side note, I didn't know how much Las Vegas had evolved. I'd always seen Las Vegas in like 90 movies and stuff like that, where it's a whole bunch of physical games where there's like people there dealing you cards and people at like tables like rolling dice. None of that was there when we went. It was just a whole bunch of giant tablets that you tap and then the game would play itself pretty much.
And maybe we were at the wrong place. That could have been the thing.
We went to 3.
Maybe we went to the first 3 at the wrong place. But it was more of, very digital.
Yeah.
It was newish.
Yeah.
I think it would have been cool to find like a show. Like whatever kind of, I don't know what they got going on, but
Celine Dion.
That's magic show. They had some band was playing in our hotel though, so it was something.
Oh yeah, and then whenever we got in the Uber driver was talking about how that slap fighting that you see on like Facebook Reels, there was a whole bunch of those events going on. I was like, I don't really want to. I'd rather play games than just watch 2 dudes slap each other until one gives. Sorry. The other thing that we kind of hinted at this, just some things to note when playing. There are events lists. They are not CDH friendly. We signed up for what we thought was a CDH tournament, and we got there, and it was a 1v1 commander tournament for points where the winner got 600, the loser got 400. So it was clearly mostly just for the experience of playing somebody. And the rules were, it was me versus some other dude. And the rules were, you can drop as many lands are in your hand, and then you drop to 7. And I was on Najila, so I beat him literally in the first couple minutes. Turn 2, just dropped a whole bunch of lands. Najila dropped a whole bunch of lands. Derevi, blah, 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 won. And the guy was so upset. Granted, so upset that I felt bad because I was just like, oh, sorry you paid like $20 to just not see a game. Yeah.
My experience was a lot more frustrating on the opposite end. So I brought 2 decks, one being Kennen, and this is last year Kennen, so
Yeah.
it was probably the height of Kennen game, but I had Proxy in it, and then Tivit was fully built.
Yeah.
And 1v1 Tivit is not great.
Yeah.
I asked the guy, I was like, would you mind if for funsies with Kennen with the same rules? Because I'm certain that Kennen would be very efficient at this. And just completely tore him up.
This guy that I went against, he had a Izzet commander that was 6 costs, and it was like some artifact silliness, like when artifacts ETB, and he was so upset. He said that he had to go up to his hotel room because I activated his diabetes. So it's like, you know,
that's funny.
I hope he's okay. But like, I'm not laughing, but it was like literally like play my turn. He played a land and did something else and passed. And I was like, all right, from here, what I do is Derevi, twiddle my thumbs, and I just infinite combats, infinite treasures, or infinite untaps. I win the game, and it's just like, I didn't know that this was gonna. I paid $20 or just, you know, basically, you activated my diabetes.
You activated my trap card.
Yeah, I was just like, and the guy left, and I was just like, what happened? You know, and I went over, and you were still in your game, and I was just like, I did not. This was not fun. So I will say, be very cautious when you're signing up for events. Neither of the participants in my situation had fun. I felt really bad that this guy had queued up to play a very fun casual game with somebody, and I ruined that experience for him. He felt bad because he wanted that experience and didn't get it. Just be very cautious when you sign up for the events. They're probably not meant for CDH decks or players, so
I'm really
aware.
hoping.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that that's changed a little. I think that Commander, or the Commander Committee or Council or whatever, maybe will.
Could you imagine a full day CDH 5 Swiss round tournaments at MagicCon? Like I would make green.
It'd be insane.
Yeah, like
that'd be an experience, man.
Yeah. The other thing that just kind of notes, we played with several creators that we ended up playing with some people that we didn't even know how to podcast. They just sat down, we played with them. They were really cool. We played a whole bunch. We played with people that were on the Commander Council on accident.
Yeah.
We played at tables that were right next to people that we watched on YouTube play games, and it was crazy seeing them play in real life. We had a creator ask us to play CDH later that we ended up not meeting up with, and we'll fix it this time.
If we see you again, yes, we will play CEDH anytime.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah. We got to watch Play to Win play 2 different games live. Really fun. Yeah. And it was weird because it's like from home, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I kind of like, I bet he's going to do this and stuff like that. And I was just like, I can't do that here. I can't give away his hand. I just got to silently watch. Like, it was really interesting. And they were so cool. Like people were gathered around them watching them play, and like at no point were they like, hey guys, like move on.
Like, they were very good sports.
They were super cool. Every creator was super cool. I didn't have a bad interaction with anybody there at all. It was a great thing. Just remember, everybody's super excited to be there. Everybody's having a lot of fun. Name of the game is fun. So lots of cool. Lot of things that were cool there. The other thing, just gonna kind of somewhat end my part here and turn it over to Ghost. But if you want to play with us, we love playing. I would love to play CDH games with anybody that's ever listened to the podcast. I know you guys don't really know what we look like, so it might be hard to find us.
You
but
just start running around asking.
Yeah.
You'll find one of us.
I will probably, for most of the event, try to wear a Holding Priority shirt that has the logo on it. If you want to reach out and say like, hey, I'm gonna be at MagicCon, this is my Twitter, I'm messaging you on it, I want to play. Like, you have some really cool, your decks sound really cool, I want to play them. Or, I really enjoy the podcast, I'd love to play you guys. Connect with us, let us know. I want to play as many people as I can, and if you want to play me, I want to play you. So let's do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's really cool. I used to know of people that went to BlizzCon, and it was really cool to see people that played World of Warcraft in a guild, like 40 people guilds that were from all over the world. They would just all meet up at a certain spot in the convention, and all of these people from 40 different states, 5 different countries that played together online would finally be physically together.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was really cool. So I'd love to kind of, in a very small way, do that with some of you listeners, some of the creators, something like that. Like, this is our opportunity to connect. So let's connect.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. Is there anything that you think I missed on the survival guide that you want to kind of end, or final thoughts?
I think that I'm sorry, not Command Fest. Magic
Command Fest was so fun, though. I will say very close to MagicCon level.
Yeah. Well, not for me. I think the whole travel was really good. It set it apart.
Louis Stardust and Comedian.
I know, but
cool. Saw him in an elevator. There was no Kibler, so clearly not as good as MagicCon.
I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised if this is your first time. If you go all the time and you're like, guys, this is it.
The one person that we didn't get to meet last time has confirmed that he's going to be there. The professor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's already confirmed he's going to be it. Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, that's the one I missed. That's the one I didn't get.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to get him to sign a map.
Yeah, something. Buy singles, professor.
Reading the card explains the card.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I think that the big thing is just to know, that everybody's there to have fun. You'll see creators and normal folk alike. At the end of the day, we're all there. We're all nerdy. Have a lot of fun. Interact. Don't be weird.
Which is hard. We're all awkward.
Oh,
I will
yeah,
say I'm very aware that I'm just like, oh, was that interaction weird? Like, I've never met this person. However, I've spent multiple hours with them through YouTube. That was completely a one-sided interaction.
And if you're at that point, because it does happen, where you're talking to a creator and you're like, I don't know what, like, I know more about them than they clearly know about me. Yeah. Just be like, hey, I enjoy your content. I think that's the safest way.
Depends.
I think it's good.
I enjoy your magic content.
Yeah, okay. I feel you.
Yeah.
I enjoy your magic content.
We may or may not have our OnlyFans set up at this point, so.
It's only lands?
Only lands, yeah.
No.
No one would buy it either.
You never know. There might be one.
If you would, leave it in the comments below.
Don't do that. I don't even want to know.
Do it.
At the end of the day, we're all nerdy. We have a good time. If you see us there, please, I'll play a game with you for sure. I do bring mostly just CEDH, so if you're more casual, I don't mind using a deck if you've got it. If not, then
if you want to see how fast we can destroy your casual deck.
I don't even really like doing that so much.
We we
It's
did
not that fun to me.
lose to Edgar Markov last night though.
That
So
that is very
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Some things happen.
Things happen, yeah.
Um, no, just have fun. I would say pack less than what you would think, unless you absolutely have to. Um, make it an adventure to grab some of the things that you may need that you didn't pack, and that's all I really got, man. I think it's going to be a real fun time.
Yep, same. Again, want to play, if you want to play us, cool. Connect with us. Probably Twitter would be the easiest way because it has live messaging. I'll make it happen if you'll make it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. Well, we will. Our next episode is due the Monday of MagicCon. I kind of want to put something special together for MagicCon that will not be ready while we're there, clearly. And I'm going to take a mental break to enjoy. So we might pre-record something that doesn't have to do with MagicCon that we'll release that day, but the podcast after that will be kind of our, this is what happened at MagicCon 2024. Hopefully, I have high hopes. I would like to record some live interviews, some live floor stuff to where if you're listening to the podcast, you feel like you're there with us and you kind of feel the excitement of the event. Us talking about it afterwards, really cool. Hearing it live, also very cool. So, gonna try something. Can't promise it'll work. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be there to have fun. Not really gonna be thinking about the podcast too much.
If
but
we do end up missing that one, we'll make it up with an extra one somewhere or another.
Yeah, for sure. Bonus episode. Already have a bonus Nadu episode. If you've not seen it, really cool. 15 minutes. I know that some people have been asking for shorter podcasts. Got a 15-minute one for you. So check it out. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.